basically unrealistic output power estimates, exaggerated paybacks, or under exaggerated payback and ROI, funny numbers. And what this is when this usually happens during the sales process, and then afterwards, after the job gets installed and sold, the it might be a year later before the customer starts to really see, their power bill compared to the projected savings that they were told they would have from the sales guy or the solar guy. And there's a lot of different things that can, lead to this kind of problem. Like, one cause of it is, they tell them that there's incentives that are available to them that aren't available. So a way that you can get around um, getting caught with that as a contractor or as a installer, or as a contractor or as a customer, is go to Desire, the database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency. And this has been around for a long time. You just type in your zip code, and it's going to show you all of the kind of incentives for your area. So I can start to see what state these incentives are in. There's a Sawney EMC commercial energy audit credit, U.S. Department of Energy. So there's all these incentives, rebates, everything like that is going to be on this Desire page. I'm going to see if I can find you my very favorite one. Okay, here's the one I love. This is the one that really helps me. Is a Jackson EMC Right Choice Sun Power rebate. So a lot of my customers are using this rebate. It's $450 per kilowatt DC, or and $525 for a solar water heater. So if you're talking to a solar contractor and he's telling you what rebates are available to you or what incentives, it always is going to help you as the consumer to go on this website and research all the incentives for your area. And they've definitely changed the website because they used to do it by a map. There it is. You can click on your state and see what the incentives are. Like South Carolina, North Carolina's got a ton of policies and incentives. So you got to do your homework. The next one is, in my little video here, is how the payback, the ROI. How do you calculate the payback and the ROI? And that is all based on the numbers that they are plugging into their programs. And guys, there are a lot of different programs out there that give ROIs and will tell you how many trees you're going to save and tell you how many pounds of carbon you're going to offset. But at the end of the day, for me, it's kind of a dollars and cents thing when it comes to grid tie PV. And I've found that the PV Watts calculator is free and it works very good. Just be conservative with it. Don't lie to yourself. But anybody can use this. Type in PV Watts in your Google search bar and head on over to the PV Watts calculator. Now what this is this is a calculator. I believe it was funded by the NREL, or U.S. Department of Energy Efficiency. A few years back, Obama put a lot of money into funding computer programs that would help with solar and streamline solar. So what you would do is come in here and you could type in your zip code, or you could type in, like I know on this one, it's going to pull up Athens, Georgia, but I don't want to type in my address because I don't want people to know where I'm at. But you would type in your address, and then you would, let's type in an address of a building I know. This is actually somewhere I used to live. So it's going to pull up that map and it's going to show where you typed in, and then you can pull from that point. Used to not let me do that. Okay, it's even getting more updated than it would. So it used to just pull the nearest location and I'd have to calculate it based on if I was in Athens or something. I don't have to do that anymore. So then you'd come in here and you would input a bunch of information about your system. So let's say, okay, I'm going to do 6 kW system. That's system size DC, and it'll tell you what these different things are. This is module type. I'll say I'm using a premium module. Putting it on the roof, fixed roof mount. System losses. Okay, so this is a number that I usually don't mess with. This would be saying you had 86%. This is like the losses of the system. I usually use 82%, but I guess they're starting to use better ones. And these default numbers are usually pretty good left in here. Now the tilt angle, that's going to be the direction that the house faces. Or I'm sorry, this is the tilt of the roof. So let's say it's 30 degrees. I think that's about optimal for my area. And then 180 degrees south. That's which direction the solar faces, and then this is the tilt angle. And then advanced parameters. Don't want to mess with that. You don't really need to mess with any of this stuff if you're just a customer checking numbers. If you're a company and you're using this program, which I still use this program all the time, I don't even mess with those numbers. Now the residential rate, okay. Now this is a spot where you can get into trouble, is by playing with these rates. If you bump this number up, it's going to show a quicker ROI. This is the cost of electricity, and if you lower this number, it's going to show a longer ROI. What you can do is you can call your power company and you can ask them, hey, how much am I paying for electricity? Plug that number in right there. One thing you have to be careful with is you got to find out if it's true net metering. Like where I'm at, it's not true net metering. For example, if I use a kilowatt, they may charge me 9 cents. But if I push a kilowatt back to them, they're only going to give me their avoided cost, which is about 0.05, or I think it's 5.28 cents. So it's a little more than half. So I have to be really careful when I tell people this, and you just have to explain to people and be honest with them. Look, if there's a situation like that where it's kind of funky metering, you explain to them what it is. And so anyway, there's that number, and keep that 0.0928, and then you just go to your production. Now there's lots of programs out there, like I said, but you kind of have to buy those other programs or download them and try them for a little while. So I'm just going over the free one right now. But this will tell you how much power you're going to make based on solar radiation that they're seeing as an average per day in your area, and then how much you're going to make energy-wise and how much you're going to make monetarily. Now, these numbers aren't really going to change, but if they're doing funky metering or you're not at home all day and so all the power is going back to the power company, this number might be less. If they're doing the funky metering. If it's 1-for-1 net metering and they're giving you the same amount that you're pushing in, if they're giving you the same amount of money for a kilowatt that you've pushed into their meter as a kilowatt that you've used from their meter, then this number wouldn't change. But like I said, in Georgia where I'm at, it's not 1-for-1. So, based on how long the person's going to be there, you're going to see that. And then you can print it. Oh, you can even find a local installer. I wonder if I'm on there. Oh, first one to come up. Look at that. That feels good. But anyway, so PV watts. So I hope I've helped you to try to figure out, how to do these ROIs, figure out what the ROI is. This is a super low-tech video, but hopefully it's helping you. If you're a contractor and you want to avoid this, be honest. Tell people what's up, Explain to them whether solar is really going to be that good of an investment. Or you can just go hands off and not give those kind of numbers. But I've seen a lot of contractors make this mistake of, promising a payoff in, an unrealistic time frame, or, giving them a crazy ROI. The other thing I've seen a lot is the customer not doing any homework and just trusting them. And these days you just can't trust everybody. So thank you for watching this video. And I hope to do some more common solar contractor mistakes as I get time. If you like these kind of videos, please like and subscribe and comment. I read comments, and that's the only way I know what people really think.